Good evening and welcome to another edition of Fightnwords on the Fightnwords News Network. Fightnwords is brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women of police and fire services, the doctors and nurses, first responders for COVID, and also those wonderful people in the supermarket to keep those shelves stocked. Tonight's program is a long program because there's been a lot going on right now. So we hope you just have a nice, cool beverage, water or soda or something, and sit back and relax and listen to some tremendous insight from our staff. Okay, Caden, let's start off with the business end right now. What's the cost for the tickets to go to the White House shindig tonight?
So it is sort of limited tickets. This isn't an event that you as a fan can just go to. The tickets I believe there's only 400 people in attendance. I believe maybe that number has changed since I saw it. But the people who will be there will be chosen individuals. It's not obviously you have to pay money for it, but the people who are paying money to go are a group of selected individuals. It's not like a ticket that you can just buy and go to.
Oh, so it's just Jesus and the apostles?
Oh yeah, and the camera.
Okay. All right, Tony. Big one last night. Bam Rodriguez took out Antonio Vargas.
I kind of suspected that would happen, but Vargas is a great fighter. I thought, I guess I didn't really see. I saw the highlights, but you could watch it, unfortunately. But the Bam, I said the last couple shows back, Bam's he's on a rampage. That kid's unbelievable. I don't think he's going to be stopped anytime in his class for a while.
Yeah, he's calling out Inoue from Japan.
That would be one hell of a fight. I can tell you that. That you know what I've always said I thought Inoue pretty much wouldn't be touched anytime soon either, but that right there would be a match that I honestly don't know who I could go with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Brady, do you have anything?
I don't know the other fighters, but I know Inoue is a beast, so I'm sure he would put on show whoever he's against.
Okay. Caden, Gabriel Bronfin decisioned Bilal Muhammad last week. Was that a surprise to you?
No. I figured that the fight would go to decision. It's by far Bonfim's best career win in the UFC at least. And it's kind of it's definitely a bad look for Bilal Muhammad because you're looking at a guy who just a year ago was a champion and defying the odds and beating guys in a fashion that was especially Bilal Muhammad. Like you watch, before you watch a Bilal Muhammad, when he was really doing his thing and a champion, you'd know essentially the type of fight you were going to get, at least the pace, Now, it just seems like people had gotten so good at defending the takedown and managing distance that it's either that or maybe he's lost a step. But Bilal Muhammad looks stale. And when he tries to go out there and do the things that he is hardwired to do, and the stuff that has been completely successful for him for the past, 3-4 years of him being at the top of the UFC, you see that strategy failing now. Again, I don't know if it's because the game's speeding up, or maybe he's lost his step. But I've seen a couple other guys like this that have used that fight style, just managing a fight instead of going out there and trying to win it from the first round to the end. It's just, it seems like that just doesn't work. You know what I mean? It doesn't work right now, and it definitely, for sure, isn't working for Bilal Muhammad. And Bonfim had all the answers, although, again, he's not one of those guys as well that's going to go out there and get the finish to the first round. But Bonfim is an amazing fight manager. He can keep you in front of him, and he can go out there and fight at his own pace. And that's something that Bilal was really good at. But it seems like now he gets into a fight and tempo gets taken over by the opponent. And that's one thing where if Bilal doesn't have the tempo, then he doesn't have the fight. And in that fight, it was exactly that. Bonson looked good. Does he look like a world beater? Does he look like a world champion? Right now, I'm going to say no. But with a win over Bilal Muhammad, that's one step closer.
Okay, Brady?
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch this one. But I agree with Kate what you're saying about Bilal. I think that style of just kind of locking up your opponent and trying to just wait the whole fight is getting figured out. I think also in terms of Bilal's career, I think, especially when you're not winning these types of fights, it's only going to get worse,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the quality of his opponent has gone down. I know Bonson is, top 5 in that welterweight division, but, he could be.
Hey, bud. I'll merge you right in.
All right. I don't know. I think that just you can't keep fighting like that and not win.
Mm-hmm.
Like that you're not going to win. You're not going to get more contracts from just holding your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, we're joined by the lovely and vivacious Mr. Zito. So, Zito, we were just talking about Bam Rodriguez and Antonio Vargas last night. What did you see that? And what's your thoughts?
No, I didn't see it. What happened?
Bam beat the hell out of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like they got to the 3rd round or 6th round, and he got a TKO on it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I have to get something out.
All right. Now, since you're in the doghouse now, let's stay in the doghouse and Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua 2.
Yeah, they need to fight first. But I know that if they're setting that up, that's been a fight that, especially the English crowd, has been looking for in the making.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that I would like to see that. It depends. To me, it depends where Tyson Fury is at in his career. It depends which Tyson Fury shows up, to be honest. He hasn't been in the ring for a while. And as we've seen before, when that happens with Tyson Fury, he's not the sharpest guy.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if he doesn't have any tune-up fights before he sees a guy like Joshua, it could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I normally would pick Tyson Fury heavily over Joshua, active Tyson Fury. But right now, I don't know if I could do that.
Okay. Tony?
Well, the way I would look at it myself would be if Anthony Joshua keeps his distance from Fury and lets Fury walk in on him and drops him, that's where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Zito. I don't think he's been keeping up with his rigorous routine he was doing prior. I mean, now it's just, I don't know if it's a money thing or what, but if Anthony Joshua trains hard, he'll win that fight. I don't think he'll even be close, to be honest with you. I think if he just keeps that distance and lets Fury come to him so that Fury can't lean on him and play that whole game, as soon as he walks in the right time and Anthony gets his shot, it's going to be over.
Okay. All right, Caden. Max Schnell says he's retiring now after this last loss. Good, bad, or ugly?
Can you repeat the name again?
Schnell. SCHNELL. Matt.
I don't know the fighter.
Okay, Brady, do you?
No, I don't either.
Okay, Tony, you want to set up the menu?
It's already done, and it's already rolling down 75 southbound.
All right, that's it. Tony.
Wait. You're in Northport, right? That sandwich going the wrong way, brother.
Well, don't forget, I own the company.
There you go.
On its way south.
Oh, Lord.
Lord. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to send it all the way up here. You could drop it off at his dad's in Northport, and he can just drop it off to him.
We could go that route as well.
Yeah,
I was thinking more along the lines of that little shot across 75 in the parish right there.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect stop.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot less mileage on you, too. Christian Baliam Smith over Ryan Rodriguez.
That's another one I didn't say. Yeah, so you might have to send something 95 more.
Oh, wow. Tony,
I got instructed around, as a matter of fact.
UPS goes there. How about you, Tony?
What was the question again here? I was thinking about DHL delivering something.
Chris Belliam Smith over Ryan Rodriguez.
Is that what take place this weekend?
Yeah.
I missed pretty much everything this weekend, unfortunately. I don't know those two guys too well, but I was trying to keep up more with the band fight than anything, catching pieces of it if I could. But yeah, I missed out this weekend.
Okay. Let's go over Cadence. Sean Strickland rips the UFC because of payouts. What's your thought?
You said what to the UFC because of payouts?
Yeah, because of the payouts. He's ripping them up.
He's doing what? What is he doing because of the payouts?
He's pissed. He's going. He's down.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's something that's been happening in the UFC for the past, God knows how long since the UFC was a thing. There's been a massive gripe over fighter pay. You see it every single year, and it's something sadly that I don't think will change, especially not in the UFC. The best guys in the world are going to get paid a lot, and the guys that are in that mid to low range won't. And I think one of the big reasons why is because you think the UFC is big now, they're only going to grow. They're only going to grow, and I doubt that fighter pay will get better.
Okay. Brady, let me ask you something. What the thing tonight at the White House, are these guys going to get paid the same amount, or are they going to get more money?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have the facts, but I mean, I would imagine that this has a little bit more gravity. I'm sure, Gaethje and Taporia and Pereira and Gane are getting, pretty fat paychecks for this.
Mm-hmm.
Probably out of the normal championship fight, but I could see the prelims and, the undercard fights getting a bit more money, but at the end of the day, I think, also relating to your last question to Caden, I think it's really all about, the UFC is they're our monopoly, but they are, the king of the MMA right now, so they set the prices. If, you want glory, I think,
Yeah. Z, this is also part of your bailiwick. What's your thoughts?
If the fighters are getting paid, I don't think they're getting paid too much more. As Freddie said, the bigger names are going to get paid a little bit more. But to be honest, the prelim, really, you get paid off of exposure to the UFC. If he's going to get a little bit more, the bigger venue you want to do, the more you will get a bigger cut of what you normally get. At the same time, you're not getting much. These guys are vastly underpaid. But where else can they go to get the paychecks and exposure? So that's kind of where it's laid at. They're going to get paid a little more for the exposure this time around, but it depends on their performance, on how they're going to get rewarded next time around. Okay.
All right, we're going to stay with you for a minute here. Bare knuckles fighting this last week. Austin Trout against Ben Bonner.
I don't know why. I'm pretty sure Austin Trout. Did the fight already happen?
Trout won.
I would expect so.
Yeah.
I would expect so. He is a very seasoned boxer. Period. And just to go on bare knuckle, that's almost unfair to me to have a seasoned boxer go to in a bare knuckle and fight a non-seasoned boxer. People forget Austin Trout was a champion. So you have quality championship guy. You know, and people may look at Paulie Malignaggi, Paulie Malignaggi got knocked out. Well, Paulie Malignaggi's also been doing, this for a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
And, so eventually you do something long enough, you're going to get caught. And that's what happened. So, I don't watch bare knuckle fighting in boxing. That's something I can't, really do with the heart, because that's just too gruesome to a degree.
Mm-hmm. Well, bare knuckles boxing had I don't know if they're still coming out of New Orleans, but it had started in New Orleans. And our tie to New Orleans is that last weekend, I should have said this in the beginning, we were very instrumental in getting Mr. Bernard Fernandez inducted into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. As everybody knows, Bernard is originally from New Orleans. His dad was a heavyweight fighter in the Navy, and then came out and had a couple major fights, then decided to go on the New Orleans Police Department, which ended his career as a captain in the department. His son, Michael, is now, Bernard's son, Michael, is now a lieutenant. So we're sending congratulations out to Bernard and his family. He had a great speech, had a lot of information he put out about the boxers that he had worked with. We also wanted to announce that he has finally gotten delivery of his sixth book that he wrote. As soon as I get my copy, I'll share it with you guys. But this guy writes, when you sit there and listen to or look at it and read it, even my wife gets interested in it, because the anthology, the way he puts it, you're actually sitting in the room listening to the conversation as you're reading. So again, congratulations to Bernard and all the other inductees. Did have a chance to meet with Zab Judah, which I didn't know that was going to happen, but it was a good one. The other presentees or inductees, I'm sorry, were Sherman Tank Williams, Kenny Gould, Michael Rush, Alan Vester, China Smith from Sarasota, and Vitaly Koptiak. I can really never get onto that stuff. But it was a really fun weekend. There was a lot more educational part this year. There was also a move to try and get a law passed for retired boxers to pick up some cash for mental illness that they go through with the boxing dementia, or the broken bones that they're still suffering from. So hopefully that'll get through sometime this year. All right. Tony, what do you think about Austin Trout?
Great fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Not my number one guy, but he's a very, very good fighter.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be going up against someone here soon. I don't remember who it was, though.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody big that was on the card. I think he fought last night, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he fought Ben Bonner.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a tune-up fight for something bigger that's coming in September.
Uh-huh. All right. So we'll look forward to that. Okay, Caden. Arman Sarukin. What do you think of this last outing here?
He wrestled, oh my God. I forget. Who did he wrestle?
Marilyn on Ruskin. Never heard of him.
Okay. That's probably why I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It looks, I always saw a couple clips of it, because it's not like it's like a fight or anything, like MMA.
Mm-hmm.
It was a competitive wrestling match. And every single time I'm on here talking about Saryukin, it is more about his antics than about his fight. And that is just
a stark contrast from what it was when he was first coming through the UFC, and he wasn't very known, and he was just absolutely stunning everybody, put on the best performance anybody's ever put up against Islam Makhachev. And now he seems pushed out by the UFC. Soon he'll probably be pushed out by the RAF after this latest incident in this last fight. I'll get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a absurdly talented athlete. It's insane how talented Arman Saryukin is. And he has every single tool in the world. He's had every single tool in the world. And I'm not saying this like it's a bad thing, but he grew up son and heir to, I believe, an oil tycoon. One of his parents owned an oil company and over in I believe Azerbaijan or one of those countries in the Caucasus region over there. So he's grown up with absolutely all the tools to be great, and he's utilized each and every single one of them to get where he is today. And he's on the top. He's on that top level.
Any score?
Except he does stupid bonehead stuff every single time he steps into the octagon, or he gets on a mic, or he's out in front of cameras. Like this latest thing, he's in the RAF. He's wrestling with the dude. He wins the match. He gets up. I guess the dude was either shoving him or maybe he was digging his face into, sorry, you can say like his forehead into his nose while they're wrestling. And obviously that's a no-go. And that's annoying, and that is what it is. But after the fight, Arman flips out, starts just beating the crap out of this dude with his fists. And it was a whole Khabib Conor McGregor moment where, you know, the bench is clear, and now the teams are fighting each other, coach on coach, and I can't see this dude at the highest level for so much longer if he keeps up this bullcrap act, and he is such a good fighter. That's just it's sad to see, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
If I could add to this, I think also what you said about, you know, him coming from a very wealthy background, I think that also is kind of the reason why he doesn't care. He's not really fighting for anything other than, you know, to be a great, you know, and sometimes that's just not enough for some people, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, Brady, walk us through the RAF.
I think Caden also is watching it a bit, but it's pretty much like professional. It's professional. I don't know if it's Greco. It's probably not Greco. It's freestyle wrestling. It's professional freestyle wrestling, like you see in NCAA or sometimes at the Olympics. You'll see it. It's like a platform professionally for, you know, these guys after college, you know, NCAA, or, you know, sometimes outside of the 4 years that the Olympics are on.
Mm-hmm.
Just a place for wrestling to kind of shine, which I think there's been a lot of advocates over the years, especially in the MMA community, from like Chael Sonnen and people like that. You know, you see Michael Chandler, you know, multiple, you know, tons of NCAA champions in the RAF. I really do like it. I think it's an amazing thing to have. Like, there's never been a professional wrestling, not, you know, like WWE, like professional freestyle wrestling. So I think that's something nice for these guys to have, especially if you don't want to do MMA. But I think, you know, I'm not sure about monetary, who's funding it and how much these guys are getting paid, but I think at least it's good. It's nice for wrestling to have a platform.
Mm-hmm. Z, what do you think?
I totally agree. You have guys that have extraordinary amateur wrestling background and really can't go anywhere but the UFC or mixed martial arts. Mm-hmm. And I think that as far as that goes, that's wonderful that guys have the opportunity to go ahead and keep displaying that wrestling skill, because that's a skill and it should be seen. That's something I'm definitely going to tune into.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tony?
Agree with Z and Brady in the bunch there.
Okay.
Nothing for that one.
All right. You're not getting off too easy here, pal. Jack Catterall tells Raleigh to vacate his title. What's your thoughts?
Man's on drugs. He needs to get the brain on drugs right here. So, any question?
What do you think, Z?
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting to see Raleigh defend the title. Simple as that. I'm not going to pay too much attention to anything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Caden, Bryce Mitchell has been ordered to has a this doesn't make sense. Let's go to the next one. Can Alex Pereira claim to be the GOAT?
I think you can definitely look at what Alex Pereira has done and look at a top 10 MMA fighter right now if he were to retire.
Uh-huh.
He's beaten some of the greatest to ever do it. He keeps on beating some of the best to ever do it. And not only is it just that, but now he's going to be doing it at 3 weight classes. And numbers matter, too, you know? Like I'm not going to sit here and act like, you know, best and greatest aren't 2 different things. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, he's not greater than DJ because DJ was in the UFC for longer. He defended his belt much more. But if you were to take only 5 years span of DJ's career and put it up against Pereira's now, I think 5 or 6 years in the UFC, there's no span that's greater than Pereira's. And you could do that with a lot of the greatest guys we'll refer to as the greatest to ever do it for a long time. This 5-year stretch is insane for Pereira in MMA. Mm-hmm. If you were to go switch that question to kickboxing, that's a lot. He's definitely up there as well. Mm-hmm. And if we say no, I think that's asinine. I think he's on a higher level in his kickboxing career than he is in his MMA career, and he was doing kickboxing for much longer and knocking out you know dudes like Adesanya not once but twice. And he won. I think he was a undefeated champion in China for 8 years straight, and he had like more than 20 fights. 20 fights, 8 years undefeated. That's greatness. Okay, that's greatness. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely not gonna shy away from not giving him the title of one of the greats. Mm-hmm. But greatest of all time, that's a stretch. That's a stretch because you look at guys again like DJ or like John Jones, and you see dudes who have done just so much more at a higher level against better fighters, and you realize that not only is Pereira not the GOAT, but he's 38 years old. He doesn't have enough time to be the GOAT. It's just it will be impossible. There's absolutely nothing Pereira can do to be better than John Jones.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Brady.
Yeah, I think Katie said it pretty well, but I can't, I don't think anybody here can deny if he captures the title tonight and goes on a run with it, that it'll put him in, that upper echelon of the greatest. I don't know if he would be, okay, maybe I'll rephrase that. Like Katie said, one of the greats, not the greatest, because at the end of the day, it's Jones. But I think, I think everybody's different, but definitely a heavyweight, even at older age, he can still generate that power. But the way he fights, maybe it's I need to see him. Tonight I got to see him, coming in at 235 or whatever he's coming in at, and it's going to be a time too that he's facing an opponent with a similar frame to him, and I think Gane might be bigger than him. So yeah, I think it's really up to the future. But like Katie said, his age will play a factor in that conversation.
Okay.
I also think I'll go as far as to say that I don't even think there's much that he can do to be the greatest in a singular division in the UFC either. I mean, you look at his time in middleweight, his time in light heavyweight, now his new time in heavyweight. They've all been great. But, who are you going to say? You think he's better than Anderson Silva at middleweight? Absolutely not. You think he gets close to John Jones at heavyweight? Try again. Is he going to get anywhere near Stipe Miocic in DC at heavyweight? Absolutely not. I'll go as far as to say that he won't even be the best when it's all said and done, in my eyes, in a singular division in the UFC.
Wow. What do you think, Z? You had apple of this barrel.
I have to agree with Kate. As far as active, you could say he's one of the greatest actors. I mean, maybe the greatest actor, depending. But as far as John Jones, and you have competition means everything. Who you face means everything. Who you beat. I mean, now you can only beat who they put in front of you. But unfortunately, that matters because John Jones is beating great. The Stipe and these guys have faced each other, and when you face these guys, and Alfred doesn't exactly have that one defining person that we could say is equal. That he's saying after Israel and Asanya, it's been a little, it's been kind of saying where he's going to be. And this fight here is going to tell a lot because he's going to be the smaller guy naturally. But it always depends. If he does really good here, there's a case for him being one of the great fighters, one of the great fighters. As far as the greatest and everything, that's probably more of a prisoner of the moment statement, more or less. Because when you go back, and as Caden alluded to, you have Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre's. I mean, you have guys like that to where, I mean, it's hard to deal, hard to take that away from those guys as being GOAT. It's Perez's resume.
Okay. Tony, after all the hold up and everything else, now Boots Ennis is getting a chance to fight Zoya. Zoya's next week. What's his thoughts?
I think it's a tune-up or something coming because I don't see that even really be much of a challenge personally for Boots.
Okay.
I think warm-up.
Okay. Z?
I think it's going to be a rough fight for Boots. Not to say win or lose, I predict him to win on points, but I think it's going to be a nice test for him, a nice rough test for him. As I say, he to me, he's moving. I still have to see him really, really at this weight against a guy at this weight. And Zandazaya is a guy at this weight with a belt. So I would like to see, I mean, it's going to be a rough fight. Nothing easy. But I do predict Ennis to win on points.
Okay. Katie Taylor says she's going to retire. What's the thought?
Yeah, I think he had to get off. He just texted me.
Okay. What do you think, Brady?
Sorry, who is it? Sorry.
Katie Taylor.
I don't know the name. I'm sorry.
Okay. Z?
Oh, yeah. Katie Taylor, she's a British boxer lady. And her and Amanda Soriano have been through 3 wars. And Katie Taylor is getting older. And she's done enough with her career. I think it's a good thing. And she feels she's trying to retire. You can't argue with that.
Okay. All right, let's go. Tony, Keyshawn Davis claims that Haney is scared of him. He's running from him.
He's crazy. Hey, well, I mean, he's been labeled crazy in the past. He's crazy now for sure because he needs to keep his mouth shut for a while. He barely won the fight the other day. So, yeah, he's just trying to get the money because he knows he's in trouble with all the people, the competition that are coming up.
Okay. What do you think, Z?
I think Keyshawn Davis is looking for Haney. Haney right now is sort of the money guy. But I think Haney is chasing bigger fish. So, I mean, Keyshawn, maybe it depends, if he gets his, I guess, promotion, his name up. However, if he could sell more tickets, then I'm pretty sure he'll have Haney's eye.
Hey, I got a question for you and Tony. What's next for Shakur Stevenson? Is he just, I know he's the top dog right now, but what's next for him? Is there anyone that can really match him?
I think it depends at what weight. What weight? Is he going to fight at 135? Because Shakur's a guy to me, he could float between 135 and 140. Just for right now. When he gets a little older, it may be different. I don't see him fighting anybody at 147. And a lot of these other guys, these young guys, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, they're moving up to 147. And if I'm correct, he fought Teofimo Lopez at 140. So I don't know how effective he'll be at 147 right now. But what's next for him, I think, was looking just for him to defend his title against a mandatory or something. Something to stay busy until he gets a big name fight at some weight. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Isaac Cruz, Pitbull. I would like to see that fight. Lamont Roach is out there. I mean, even Oshaki Foster. He's so there are people out there around that weight, but as far as that goes, I see him taking up just defending his title maybe against a mandatory.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just take a minute here and go around the horn. Tony, what's the fight you'd like to see?
I'm still waiting on Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. I need to see the outcome of the second fight. Yeah, it's a must. It's a must one for me. I have to see that. There's a lot of fights I do want to see. That's at my top of my list.
Okay. Z?
Shakur Stevens against Tank Davis.
Ooh.
I think that weight-wise, that'll match up pretty well weight-wise. And I think the style-wise, that's a fight that I would like. Just point-wise, neither guy is hard to beat. I think it's hard to get rounds on Shakur, but it's hard to really win the fight, period, against Tank. So I would like to see that fight.
Brady?
I mean, I got to go. I'm gonna stick to MMA, and I got to go. Obviously the most dangerous weight class. I'm gonna say with a Pereira win tonight. I want to see Pereira and Tom Aspinall go at it. I think just that their styles would. I think it would be very interesting, but I think Aspinall is just the king in that division. I've never seen a guy at that size that moves like that quick and powerful. He's an assassin. He's a brute. He's like a juggernaut assassin. Like he's a giant and he'll take you out quick. So I'd like to see that against Pereira's accuracy and how he breaks you down with the leg kicks and the precision. And I would just like to see that mesh of styles.
Okay. All right. It's Tony, Edgar Berlanger and Richardson Hutchinson.
I don't think that Berlinger is going to have a chance against Richardson or Hutchinson. I know who you're talking about. He's a bad dude. I think he lost his last fight in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. It was one that I can't remember, but I've seen him fight, and I've seen Berlinger and Berlinger's mouth, and I don't think Berlinger will be able to take him.
Okay. Z?
I don't know. I hope that's just talk because these guys are a little bit different weight class. If you talk about Richard Hutchinson and Edward Berlanger, Hutchinson is smaller, a bit smaller. He just fought Cambosis, if I'm correct. And Berlanger is a certified middleweight to super middleweight. They might have problems just talking, social media or something. But these guys, they right now, I don't see them even facing each other.
Okay. Let's see. Brady, Hamza Chimaev last night submitted Dylan Desai at with less than 1 minute. Was that a setup, or what do you think?
What's this wasn't UFC, was it?
No, it was RF.
Oh, I didn't know he was in RF. I'm not gonna say I'm the most experienced. Especially, I thought it was wrestling. He submitted him. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I didn't get a chance to see this, but
it was the first minute. First minute of the first round. He had him down.
I'm not sure if this is RAF because there's no real submission in RAF. It's like point wrestling. So I'm not sure. I'm not too versed on if this was jiu-jitsu or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see these UFC guys staying active in other realms.
Yeah, that brings to mind a story about Adam Jaco went out to California to fight, make his last fight, and he said in the first round, this guy hit him so hard that he saw his whole life coming for him. When he went back to the corner, he looked at his brother, who was his corner man, and said, I have a wife and kids. I can't be out here. This guy's going to kill me. And that was the end of the fight. Just goes to show you, sometimes the things go with you, and sometimes karma works against you.
That was against Kelly Tablet. I remember Aaron Jacob was talking about it, and he was against Kelly Tablet.
Yeah. Z, what do you think about that? I mean, you're the technical expert. If a guy is overpowering you in any round, is it best to get out, or is it best to try and stay in?
It's best to deal with that in training before you get to the fight. Sometimes, fights are different, but it depends where you're at with it. Some people are resolved to, going to try to do what they're going to do through it, and some.
Okay, I'll bring you right back in.
Reality of the situation, and unfortunately in fighting, there is a reality to the situation that you can get hurt, especially against a guy like Kelly Pavlik's not a guy who's going to be in there, touching you and working with you. He's in there. He's a seek and destroy guy. So that I understand that aspect of it, but then also you want to take care of a lot of stuff in training. So you want to deal with the hardness in training, so that when you get to the fight, you know what to expect when you're already kind of used to that hardness, that physicalness, and you already brace for it to a degree. So I mean, listen, either which way. Aaron Jacob, they're still running that gym, so that he still is doing pretty good himself. So that's a very good business decision for him. He's put it like that.
Yeah, he's doing very well. He was a good businessman to start out with, but he's got his own gym that he's built on himself, and it's crowded all the time. And Adam, on the other side, has a gym that's very active. Between the two of them, they have Golden Glove winners for almost every age limit, or weight limit. And they have a couple prospects that are coming up. Will be going pro soon. I had a chance to meet and talk with Dave. Every time I meet Dave, he introduces himself. He's got pugilistic dementia, and he thought last week at the Hall of Fame that they would call him up to the stage and let him talk about guys that he fought, like Jerry Cooney and things like that. It's Dave, You're not on the list. Oh, okay. He sat down and had his cake. But all right, Caden's back with us. Caden, who's next for Bo Nickel?
Definitively, I can't say. I think he's still in that limbo of getting into the top 15, and also not fighting guys in the top 15 because he's still on a lower contract. And you've seen so many guys in the UFC who are talented do that, and it really pisses me off. I'm gonna be completely blunt. A guy like Topuria completely ignored this. A guy like Joshua Van completely ignored this. And those are the type of fighters who right now are champions. And they're champions NOW right now. And you'll see a guy like Paddy Pimblett. My main gripe on Paddy Pimblett is that he is doing the same thing that Bo Nickel was doing, and the same thing that Sean O'Malley was doing for the longest time. He was kind of one of the guys who really brought that to light. People were probably doing it before him, but he was just completely open about it, where you are a higher level fighter, and you're doing nothing but turn down the high ranked opponents because you're not getting paid the money that you want, which I get, I get to an extent, but back to what I was saying about Ilya Topuria and guys like Joshua Van and most of the dudes that we consider great are guys that absolutely blazed the trail to the top, took every single fight that was in front of them, and did nothing but try and get better and try and fight the best at every stage of his career. And Bo Nickel is a guy who should not be fighting the dudes that he's fighting, even in the RAF. In the RAF, he's been doing a lot of wrestling matches in the RAF, and that's really where he shines. We're talking about guys who are NCAA champions, maybe NCAA greats, but they don't move. They don't got the MMA moves. They're not essentially built for it. To some degree. And one of those guys that you could easily look at and say the same thing about is Gable Stevenson. I love Gable Stevenson as a wrestler. Don't get me wrong, one of the greatest to ever do it. But I've seen him do MMA, and he looked good in the matches that he was in, or maybe he won the matches that he was in. He didn't look like great. He didn't look like a UFC fighter in the matches where he's in, and that's the reason why he still hasn't been signed yet. And he's had multiple fights outside of the UFC. But Bo Nickel, man, I think he can learn to move that way. He's a massive middleweight. He just, his shoulders, his whole frame is super broad, right? He has the same kind of build, just a little bit thicker. He kind of reminds me of a Hamzat Chimaev type of build, just engulf you with pressure. And again, who that's going back to who his next opponent will be, I don't know, because of that stipulation. He's one of those guys that will refuse to go in and fight above his rank until he thinks the money's worth it. And now I guess I get it a little bit more because he was on that rookie contract before, and then he went out and fought Renier de Ridder, and he lost that fight and really derailed all of his hype and everything going with the Bo Nickel name. At least into the UFC it did. So I kind of get pacing it out that way. But, man, you are a multiple-time NCAA champion, and you're looking great against these low-level fighters that you're absolutely destroying, man. Go out there and try and fight some good fighters, man. That's how you get better. It's the only way.
Okay.
I just want to add, Bo Nickel's fighting tonight, actually. He's fighting Colin Dawkins. I was looking at the card. He's fighting tonight. And then Gable Stevenson just got a UFC contract as well. I was literally looking that up when we were talking about that.
Yeah,
Again, I think he'll be one of those fighters where he'll have a Bo Nickal style entrance where he'll go and he'll fight and do his thing, and he's going to meet a guy who's really good at one thing that's not wrestling. Maybe he can control the wrestling aspect, and it's just going to absolutely blow up in his face, just like it did with Bo Nickal. And I don't want to wish that on Stevenson at all, and I hope it doesn't happen to him. But just the way that he fights in MMA, the way that he moves, and the way that he's been hardwired, again, he's going to meet somebody in the UFC or any sort of high-level or MMA match that's really good at one thing that he hasn't practiced his entire life, and it's going to stump him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Z, what do you think about Lamont Roche and Zapata?
That would be an exciting fight. I would like to see that. I hope they sign it. I would love to see that. Zapata is going to be busy. And Roach is a guy that you're going to have to... He's a guy that if you don't take the fight away from him, he's going to take the fight away from you. And it'll be interesting to see what he does against Zapata's volume. I mean, Zapata's going to be there almost toe-to-toe. Not the hardest hitting guy, but he's going to touch you everywhere. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to stop him from being this. I think it's a good fight for Lamont Roach. I think it's a good fight for Zapata. I could see it almost being a draw, but it'll be interesting to see the scorecards. Neither guy's going to get knocked out. I don't even see a knockdown, but yeah, they're going to. I would love to see the fight. Just because these guys are entertaining. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Tony?
I agree with pretty much everything that Z said, although, and I don't think there will be a knockdown, but I think Roach will take it. I don't like the way Zapata fought his last fight. And I just don't feel that he's going downhill. Mm-hmm. So if he comes prepared like he did this last fight, Roach is going to take
it. Okay. Kane, when we were off, we talked about your boy Hamzat submitting Dylan in less than a minute in RAF. What do you think?
Man, it was great. It was great to see, and obviously not surprising. Anybody who knows both names would know that not only is Hamzat much better right now. Maybe Dylan could have his little say, a couple years back, 2017-ish, when he's out there coaching Conor McGregor and winning world championships in jiu-jitsu. Maybe Dylan Danis could have a bright then. Maybe he could have a chance in the match then. But right now, if you're looking at a dude who's at a world champion level fitness and a guy who is on a Twitter and Instagram champion level of fitness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's levels to this game. There's levels.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened. He went out there and showed him that there's levels to this, man.
Okay. Tony, Devin Haney's been ordered to fight Tank Davis. What's your thoughts?
That's the best news I've heard all night. If he's not fighting Ryan Garcia, Tank will knock him out. Then Devin Haney's done. That's all I'm going to say. I don't care for him. I don't like him. He just runs his mouth. I know I'm probably going above and beyond, but I don't like him. And if Tank Davis is going to fight him, God bless him, because Haney will definitely go to the hospital on this one.
Zeke?
It depends at what weight. Devin Haney right now is fighting at 147 welterweight, and Tank Davis, I'm not sure if he can make 140, but I still think he's fighting around 135. They would probably meet around 140 if they were to fight. Mm-hmm. If that were the case, I don't pick Devin Haney. That will probably boil him down a bit, and that would pretty much any lighter version of Devin Haney is going to give it a less chance of him taking Tank's punch. Tank hits a little too hard, even at 140. Devin Haney needs to fill in a bit more to even think about taking something like that.
Mhm.
Now, for the money, I can easily see that fight being made for the money.
Okay. Brady, Walker, and Roundtree tonight. Khalil Roundtree at the White House.
Johnny Walker?
Yeah.
No, it's what is it? It's I don't know if Roundtree.
I'm looking at the card. He's not on.
Huh. That was one of the cards the early cards that they put out because that's how I got it.
They might have put that out. Yeah, they might have changed it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I think Roundtree would probably. I think he would outclass Johnny Walker.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say about that. I think he's just a level above him, especially at this point in both of their careers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One we didn't do yet. Usyk versus Verhoeven. He KO'd him last weekend. Tony, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we talked about that one a couple of weeks ago, predicted that. I don't think anyone's going to stop Usyk anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Z?
I totally agree with Tony.
Mm-hmm. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of our hour here. And again, it flew by so fast I didn't have time to even look at things. But I appreciate everything you guys did and all the preparation you've done. Caden, you want to lead us out?
Oh yeah, a great man. It's been an absolutely great week. For those Americans out there, go out there, pray and cheer for our boys playing in the World Cup. Hopefully we can take it home. For Tony, I'm always praying for you and your family's health, brother. Hopefully it works out for you. Z, man, we love you on the show every single week, brother. Every single week, you always bring the knowledge. You're always there. Brady, thanks for backing me up this week on UFC and MMA, especially when my phone died. But I will definitely be on next week. Stay tuned to UFC tonight, one of the biggest cards ever. Have fun. God bless. Have a good week.
Okay. Z?
Wonderful week. I definitely want to thank my now wrestling and UFC aficionados, Caden and Brady. Want to thank you, Tony. Great to have you back, and we continue to have our prayers out for you. Butch, definitely thank you for all of the Fighting Words family. And these shows are definitely in memory of Bob, Coach Mel, and Dr. Chris. If anyone wants to hear any Fighting Words, please do call.
Brady?
First and foremost, I want to thank you, Bob, for keeping this whole thing running like a well-oiled machine. Twice a week, every week, you bring us a nice show with plenty of knowledge and some fun. So I want to thank you for bringing us all together. Tony, Caden, Vito, you guys all do a great job every week, and I'm privileged to be able to be on this panel with you all. So obviously, I want to give out prayers to Tony's family. I hope everything gets better, and those trials and tribulations will end. And thanks for having me on. God bless you. God bless you all.
Tony?
I appreciate the prayers, you guys. It means a lot. Everything has been good for the most part this weekend. This week is going to be the challenge a little bit, but I think we're going to be fine. Appreciate everybody's prayers. Brady, I hope you get well and have a speedy recovery real quick, too, with that knee. Caden, you're the man of the hour, man. I tell you what, I wish I just had half of a little bit of knowledge of what you got. Z, same thing. I'll never go against you. I can tell you that. You know your stuff way better than I do, for sure. And I'm just in Pops, of course. All of you are family. So love all you guys, and see you next week. I thought it was going to be a longer show the way you were talking earlier. You said sit back, and I'm sitting back. I think we must have another we're going to do tonight, but guess not. But it went quick. So you guys have a good week, and we will see you all next weekend.
Z, before we go, let's give an update on your boxer.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about Brian? And
Yeah.
try to have him on the show next weekend.
Good.
But yeah, he's doing good and working with the guys in the gym. He's coached by it, so he has his coaching license, and he's doing good. He's doing good. He works with the kids well. He works with everybody well. Heavyweights, work with my son a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the guy. Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
Good. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for such a great job as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, these programs are brought to you each and every night of the week in grateful appreciation to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the men and women police and fire services, the doctors and nurses and first responders, and also the wonderful people in the market to keep the shelves stocked. These programs are dedicated to those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Deputy Robert Anthony Carroll, Patrolman David Curtis, Patrolman Jeffrey Colcap, Patrolman Jeffrey Yazowitz, Sergeant Thomas Batinger, San Diego Officer Mike Hendler, Sergeant Tom Wilson, Charlotte County Sheriff's Department, Detective Randy Bell, Detective Rick Childress, Patrolman Charlie Condit, Tarpon Springs Police Department, Deputy Chief Mike Godwin, Philadelphia Fire Department, Lieutenant Joyce Craig Lewis, Philadelphia Fire Department, Sergeant James O'Connor, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Chris Levake, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Mike Zerba, Newcastle County Police, Patrolman Anafo Crispin, Lakeland PD, Deputy Josh Meyer, National County Sheriff's Department, Captain Matt Letourneau, Philadelphia Fire Department, Captain Chris Leach, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Art of Hope, Wilmington Fire Department, Lieutenant Jerry Ficus, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Jimmy Ford, Wilmington Fire Department, Chief Al Hogle, Longbow Key Police Department, Deputy Mike Hargrove, Pinellas County Sheriff's Department, Trooper Chelsea Richards, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Joe Bullock, Florida Highway Patrol, Trooper Zachary Ben, Florida Highway Patrol, Sergeant Chris Fitzgerald, Philadelphia Police Department, Sergeant Ramon Mendez, Philadelphia Police Department, Chief Corey Compontier, Buffalo Creek Fire Department, Deputy Ronnie Ronazinski, Manatee County Sheriff's Office, Patrolman Zachary Butterfield, Bradenton PD, and Corporal Timothy O'Connor, Pennsylvania State Police Department. My brothers and sisters, although you may 10-7 at this point in time, at some time will be 10-10 at the table of the Lord. Until that time, may the rose rise up to meet you. May the winds be always at your back. May the rains fall softly on your fields and the sunshine lightly on your face. Until we meet again, may the good Lord keep you and your family always in the palm of his hands. Good night, God bless, and have a great week.
But I think that Ecuador has these extra levels.